Morning everybody, how are you doing? How did you get on with those 3D shape hunts? It's a bit tricky, isn't it, looking for 3D shapes? I've found quite a few bits and pieces around my house, but still haven't really found any of those cones, although there have been traffic cones on my road because there's been some workmen there digging a big hole. So there were some big traffic cones, but I didn't think it would be right to go out there and collect one of those, would it? Anyway, let's get on to today. Now, I told you, didn't I, that I wanted you to try, if you could, to collect some things, to collect some 3D shapes, some boxes maybe, bits and pieces that you found around your house. I've got some lids here, and obviously I've got some cylinders, and I've got some cuboids. I've got all sorts of things that I've found. Now, if you haven't had a lot of time to collect in between Tuesday and Thursday, and I understand that, grown-ups, I do understand that, then maybe just try and collect a few over the next few days, and you can just do some box modelling when you've got time. Okay, I'm just going to show you today what you could do with some of those boxes. But before we start, I am going to give us a little maths challenge first with our tallying skills. So I'm going to put my magic maths glasses on ready, and we're just going to practice a little bit of tallying up on here. All right, the magic glasses coming. If you've got yours, get them on, because you'll need your brain. Here we go. You can see wonderfully, and I hope now that my tallying brain is working. Right, I'm just going to move that cylinder out the way so that I've got a nice clear view of my pad here. So I'm going to write a number, and I'm going to see if we can have a go together at tallying that number. What does that number look like when we do the tally sticks? Alright, so let's start with number 2. So you can help me now. If you've got a piece of paper, that's brilliant, but if you haven't, you can just use your fingers in the air. That's perfectly fine. So what does 2 look like if we tally it? Easy peasy. 1, 2, yeah? Let's try double 2, 4. What does 4 look like if we tally it? Easy peasy, yeah? 5. Let's see if you can remember the special tally pattern for number 5. 1, 3, 4, and across 5. And I did say to you, if you keep doing it with your finger, your brain will remember that pattern. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Across the middle. Let's have a bigger number then, shall we? Let's try 8. Right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. And it's really clever because it's like we've learned a lot of skills, haven't we, about what 2 numbers make a bigger number. And you can see with tally that 5 and 3 makes 8. All those skills that you've learned about part, whole, and how many beans you might have in that group and that group. Tallying is also a part of that. It's just helping you to get really good at understanding all those numbers and all those different amounts. Let's have an even bigger number. Let's go for 11. There's 11. We'll make it look like 11 actually, like that, so that it looks different to 2 sticks. 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 2 lots of 5 and 1 more. Different ways of learning, you see. Oh, and we'll go for the biggie, shall we? Shall we go for 20? The biggie. 20. Do it with me with your fingers if you want to. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Do you know what's coming next? 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Doesn't it look strange? Looks a bit like a load of fences. But that's that's 20 when you're tallying. I'm going to give you a little challenge at the end of my video today, and I'll give you some numbers and you've got to try and tally them, and maybe you can send me your work, send me photos of your work, and I'll show them to Mrs Hopper, and maybe she'll put them on the website and things. And the same with Miss Holly as well, and Miss Cresswell in Fig and Willow. Alright, to keep going with your tallying, because it's a really good skill. And it just means that you don't have to write numbers down all the time. Okay, right, well let's get on to our 3D shapes for today then. I'll take that off there because I might need to put something else on there in a minute. And we don't want those numbers getting in the way, do we? Because we are actually today going to do something about our story. You might be thinking, well, that hasn't got a lot to do with maths, Mrs Bowen. But it has when we're talking about 3D shapes, because inside this story there were two very naughty men, weren't there? Hefty Hugh and Lanky Len, was it? Let me remind myself of the story. This is the pages that I really want us to look at. But the ladybird saw, and the ladybird heard. She saw two men in a big black van with a map and a key and a cunning plan. And she heard them whisper, "This is how we're going to steal the fine prize cow." There they are. There are those two men. And on the back of my book as well, it tells you, here they are again in their truck. And it says Hefty Hugh and Lanky Len. So I was right, wasn't I? It is those naughty men. So what I want you to look at today is their vehicle. This is their van. This is the black van that the story talks about. And we're going to make that. We're going to have a go at making a vehicle just like that out of our 3D boxes. Okay? So that's what I thought we'd do today. Now, for some of you grown-ups that may be still a bit younger than me, there used to be a programme on the television many years ago called Blue Peter, and people used to make models on there, and they'd always have bits and pieces ready before, you know, you'd have to get all your things together and you'd be busy cutting them out and sorting them out, and they always seem to have all their things ready or already hiding round the back. Well, I've done a bit of that today just for you grown-ups. All right, but I'm going to show you some little tricks of the things that we can do with box modelling today. Okie dokie, so let's get started. This is a good 3D shape. This, everybody, if you can remember, like a rectangle, two short sides, two long sides. It's a cuboid. It's a cuboid when it becomes 3D. We would know it as a cereal box, but it's a cuboid. Now, for our van today, we're going to do something with this cuboid. We're going to turn it inside out, because you can't paint or put felt tip pen or anything on this shiny bit. You have to turn the box inside out, and that's why, grown-ups, I really will need you, I think, to help your children to make these, because there are things that are a bit tricky that they won't be able to do on their own. So you find the seam in the box. There it is. You pull it apart carefully, and you literally just turn the whole thing inside out. Turn it like that. Bend it round, and then stick it together, preferably with sellotape. Okay, put it together, put the whole thing together. And here's my Blue Peter bit. You end up with one looking like this. That's what it looks like. But now you've got that lovely brown cardboard that you can draw onto really, really easily. Okay. Maybe we should leave the picture of the van up on there so we can see it. Let's find it again. Cannot find it now. Here it is. Oops, it's the one before the map, isn't it? Miss Holly would know better than me because she's been doing the story maps with you, hasn't she? There we go, right. Let's try and put it on there. See if it'll stay. Not sure it'll stay, everybody. Put it there instead. There we go. Let's see if we can manage it like that for a little while. Right, so we have got the main part of our van. That's the bit we're going to use for the big part here of the van. It's not going to work, is it? So I'm going to have to move it out of the way and keep showing it you at different times. There's our big part for the van. Now, but there's another part, isn't there? There's the bit that Hefty Hugh and Lanky Len sit in. There's the bit at the front, the cab, we would call that bit. Now, I'm really lucky that my daughter Ella has been buying some of these special like little statue things, pop heroes, and she's got them in her bedroom, and I said, oh, don't throw those boxes away, they're brilliant, especially because I could see straight away this one was like a window. So just like you did before, you would need to turn your smaller box inside out, finding my seam. If you haven't got a box like this, and you've only got a box perhaps a bit like this one, which could still be a little cab like that, you would need to turn it inside out. You would need to cut a window out and perhaps put some cling film over it. Okay, but I'm quite lucky that I've got this one. So just the same as what we did before, you would turn it inside out like that, and just like magic, I've got one already made. Here it is. So can you see it starting to come together a bit now? We would have the main lorry, and then that bit would go there, and that would be the cab. Okay, that's the bit that Hefty Hugh and Lanky Len are going to sit in. Right, now what I might do is use some sellotape to stick that on. And here's another clever tip. Get your sellotape, but fold it, fold it, fold it, fold it until you get like a little pillow. Pop it on. Might need two of those. Fold it, fold it, fold it, fold it, fold it. And then you can stick your, actually I need it underneath. That's it. Then you can stick your cab onto your lorry. Put your hand inside and press it down nice and firmly. All right, now I am going to put something at the back, because when we look at the picture again, they've obviously got this bit here, haven't they? Because they're coming to steal that cow, aren't they? So that bit there at the back of their cab is where they're going to put the cow, I would imagine. So we need something at the back of our lorry, don't we? Just here in this space. So I've already turned another box inside out, and I'm going to stick this one on. Now your boxes might look different to mine. They could be bigger. You could have a big van, or you might have a small van. It doesn't matter. As long as you look at my model that I'm using, where I've got one cuboid here, another cuboid there, and another cuboid there. Seems to be a cuboid day, doesn't it? So we'll stick that one on there as well. And use some more pillow sellotape. And then some more pillow sellotape. Push that there, best as I can. There we go. So then we've got the cab, the back, and the main lorry, the main van. So, what can you see maybe here, children, that it's missing? How's it going to go? How's it going to move? Yes, it needs wheels, doesn't it? And most vehicles have how many wheels? Do they have two like a bicycle? They have double two, don't they? Because they have two on this side and they have two on that side. Now, another little tip, grown-ups. I've used 4 pieces of paper. I'm using recycled paper here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Because I didn't have enough lids. I didn't have lids that were big enough. They'd look a bit silly, wouldn't they, those little piddly wheels? So I found a lid like this, and then I drew around it with my pen. I don't know if you can see that down there. I drew around it with my pen, and now I've got these 4 pieces of paper. If you put them all together, I can get some really good scissors. So the grown-ups might need to do this bit. It's up to you. You don't have to. If you want to just draw out 4 circles and get your child to cut them out one at a time, you can do. I'm just doing this because it's quicker. So I'm cutting them out. For quickness, I can show you I've got 4 wheels all in one go. There we go. Oops, there's things crashing everywhere. Now children, remember when I've got things like this, they're not spheres, they are actually circles today, aren't they? But there we go. Now these are white, so you might want to colour them in. You could always colour them in better than me. I haven't got a lot of time to do it, but I'm sort of colouring in the tyres. And then what I'm going to do, I have got a Pritt stick. I could use a Pritt stick for this. I could use a Pritt stick glue. And I've got 4 green lids, so I'm actually going to put a green lid in the middle, get that to stick. And then I'm going to stick my wheels on. So there would be one. I'd have another one here. Good. And then we'll whiz it round really quickly. I'll have another one here. And we'll have another one here. There, job done. Easy peasy, hey? So that's my tyres, my wheels. And obviously you would spend a lot longer doing it than me. Colour it all in, etc. You might even want to paint them before you put them on. That is entirely up to you. So there we go, there we go. And again, you could paint it, you could draw things on it. I know Mr. Speed is a really big fan of drawing on boxes. He loves his cardboard boxes. You might want to put a door here, look, because that's like the door with a door handle to the cab. You'd need 2 doors, wouldn't you? You'd put one on this side as well. You can decorate it however you want to. And the last thing we've got to do is we obviously need Hefty Hugh and Lanky Bill. Not Lanky Bill, that's another story, isn't it, Lanky Bill? I have to think about that. I think that's a different robber story. Lanky Bill, I'll look that up for you. Lanky Len. You've got to put Hefty Hugh and Lanky Len inside your van. Now I've drawn them because I didn't want to photocopy them out of the book or anything like that. I've just drawn them. So why don't you try and draw them as well? And the only thing I'm going to do is put a little bit of glue on the front of my Hefty Hugh. So just on the front there. And you might think, why are you doing that, Mrs Bowen? He'll be all sticky when you hold him. Well, he will, but that's because he's going inside the cab. So I'm going to open this door here. I'm going to stick him in the window, just there. And you see that lovely Pritt Stick glue he's got on him? Sticks beautifully into the window. And then we're going to put Lanky Len at the side of him. So a little bit of Pritt Stick glue on the bottom of Lanky Len. I'm going to fit him in as well. Okay, all stuck in. Shut the door. And there you have it. There's our 3D model, 3D box model made out of mainly cuboids today. And then we've added some circular wheels and we've finished it off by putting Hefty Hugh and Lanky Len inside. Don't they look sinister? They're off to do a job. Oh, those naughty robbers. Well, everybody, have fun. I'd love to see some of your robbers' black vans. It isn't very black, is it? I would have to paint it or colour it in, but I haven't really got time to do that today. So I really look forward to seeing some of yours, and I'm sure they will look so much better than mine. And if you haven't got time today, just do it when you've got time, whenever. All right, everybody. Enjoy your box modelling. Enjoy looking round for 3D shapes, because there's always time to do that. And don't forget your tallying. I'll put some tallying challenges on as well. Take care then. Have fun. Bye for now.